Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I'm not sure why my reminder didn't crop up, but here we are, or here I am all by myself. Of course, Zoom has decided that it is not going to be working. And I'm not sure why we didn't get the, and I wonder if we're even working on the right microphone down here, ladies and gentlemen. It is frustrating not to have all of your stuff at your disposal. But hey, what are we going to do? We're going to do our very best and we're going to press on with pride. But I just wish I had all my tools at my disposal because this doesn't have any of the tools and I don't get it. I really don't get it, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, what are you going to do? Cancel it. I don't want to end that. So here we are. And I want to talk to you about shaking it off. I get a lot of questions, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in the URL, the link for the Cookie Do YouTube channel. I'm trying to promote some of the young and up and coming YouTubers. This is one with a lot of talent, a lot of innovation. And I'm asking you to do a personal favor for me and subscribe to that channel. I think you'll enjoy the content. And even if you don't, hey, Lou, even if you don't, I want you to subscribe to that channel and encourage this young YouTuber who's not out running the streets, who's not out smoking crack and doing all kinds of bad things, but is trying to produce quality YouTube content. And I think doing a good job. So it's the Cookie Do YouTube channel. It's right here. I'm going to put it in the chat room again. So please go ahead and subscribe to that channel. That's a personal favor for me. Shake it off. Shake it off. Yes, just like the American prophet Taylor Swift, although I'm not super thrilled with all of her stuff, but hey, she is a talented girl. So shake it off is what we're talking about. Nice to see Dolores, Steph, Grammy, B, Melanie, Spencer, Lou, Noah, Warrior Princess, Jeffrey Darty's in the room, Rana Arena, and Lou just subscribed to Cookie Do. Thank you so much, Lou. Expanding Consciousness, GAN. And I want to talk about this because I get asked a lot of questions about, well, Jeff, what do I do when I try to share my faith with my family? What do I do when I try to share my faith with my friends? And Rana was just singing, Rana was just, I don't know which one it is, was just singing that song, she said. So very, very interesting. I see Mindy, I see Tanya Robbins, Kathleen Sharp, Richard Elliston. A lot of new people popping in. Always nice to see you. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do so too. It's Joshua Taylor, Michelle's Options. I can see you. Lori Lolo's channel. I can't read all these things. But I get asked this question a lot. And it is a conundrum. It is a riddle. Kathleen says this is synchronous. I'm so glad. And Paul's at work. But I want to bring this to you because it is something that we all struggle with, and I wish that Zoom was working, but it's not, so I could share the screen with you. So it's unusual that you're not going to get to see me go through the scripture. You're going to be able to. You're just going to have to trust me on this one. And I want to start off by giving it a little bit of a scriptural basis. Jesus, the Lord, the Master, the Savior, the fictional figure that the message coalesced around, whichever you choose to believe. He said these words. He said that when you come into a house, salute it. If the house is worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it's not worthy, let your peace return to you. And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when you depart out of that city, shake off the dust from your feet. I'm not going to read the last part because I think it's dung added by the translators or added by some low-minded scribe, because I don't think that's part of the original text. And that's just my thing. People say, well, how do you know what's true and what's not true? Because you know. There's textual clues. This one, the writing style is completely different in verse 15 than it was in the rest of those 14 verses. To me, it's out of place. And my spirit, my higher self, my dung meter goes boop, boop, boop. So I drop it out. Maybe you don't like that. Maybe you do. That's all I can do, folks. That's all I can say. But whoever will not receive you, ladies and gentlemen, whoever will not receive you, let's talk about what that means in the original language. And let's figure out what it means if they will not receive us and figure out what we are supposed to be doing. And then I'm going to finish this in a really weird place. A really weird place, I think. But it's going to be very, very helpful. If they will not receive you, the word is 1209, dekomai. It means that they won't receive you in a welcoming or receptive way. If they won't warmly receive you, if they don't readily receive what is offered. If they don't take a high level of self-involvement. Do you hear what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? If they don't receive, if they don't take, if they don't accept, if they don't welcome in a very welcoming and in a very receptive way, if they don't warmly receive it, and if they don't display a high level of self-involvement. Somehow we've got this idea that we've got to go out and save everybody, and we've got to twist their arms, and we've got to scream in their ears, and we got to keep trying and keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. And that's probably very close to the exact opposite of what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to do what we do, live like we live, talk like we talk. We're not going out there trying to find people to talk to. Typically, sometimes we do because it makes for good YouTube videos, or sometimes we feel like we're called or have an unction. There's a religious word for you, an unction to go do it. But generally, if you're not on YouTube having a channel, but I mean, you think about Rex Bear, my good friend, Leak Project, check that channel out. And if you haven't subscribed yet to Cookie Do, please go do so. The link is in the chat room in a couple places. I'll put it back in a little bit later. DEW. But Rex is like me. When we were working in the regular workaday world around the water cooler, we'd be talking about this same stuff. So now we're just talking about it on YouTube. But if a person doesn't receive you in a welcoming way, if they're not warmly receptive, and if they don't show that they're going to take a high level of self-involvement, what are you doing, cousin? Or if they will not hear your words, it says, if they won't listen, or if they can't comprehend the words that you're speaking. He says to very simply go forth, get out of there, go out of there, depart from there, leave there. Just stop. Just stop. And shake off, somebody says. Somebody gave me a message. Shake off, which means put it out of mind. Forget it. It's almost like cast it out of your mind. Let it swing on by. Don't give it any more thought. Don't lie awake at night. How can I get through to mom? Don't lie awake at night. How can I get through to my husband? Just shake off. And he relates it back to dust. And I think it's interesting and synchronous that we talked about the Lord making a false creation, these mud hut bodies, out of the dust of the earth. And the word literally means dust, dirt, and dust, dirt, and refuse, garbage. And sometimes, folks, I know we love them, and sometimes they're not your family, sometimes they're not your friends, they're just people. But if they have no interest at all, no interest whatsoever in receiving your words, they're not able to rise above their dust-like nature. They're not able to rise above their dirt-like nature. They're not able to rise above their refuse-like nature. It's just who they are. You can't wake somebody up, and you shouldn't even try. You can't cause someone to unindoctrinate themselves, and you shouldn't even try. I do this professionally, ladies and gentlemen. I do this for a living, and even I won't try to wake somebody up. Every day, except for Sunday, a guy drives by my house in a white truck, and he'll put these little messages from heaven into this box that's on the outside of my mobile home. And I go out there and sometimes it's a check and I love him. And sometimes it's a bill and I don't love him. But I don't chase down his little cute little van and beat him up when he gives me a bill. And I don't chase down his little van and kiss him when he gives me a check. I realize he's just the mailman. And that's all I am. I'm just the mailman. And guess what? The mailman doesn't feel bad if I don't pay my bills and he leaves. The mailman doesn't feel bad if I don't cash my checks that he gives. The mailman doesn't care if I throw everything away. The mailman only cares if I don't clean up the mailbox because he can't put more mail in it and he has to. That's his job. So we need to become as dispassionate as the mailman, because you're not even hoping to get a Christmas check. Well, sometimes you are. We need to become as dispassionate as the mailman. We're just delivering the mail. And if people don't willingly, excitingly take the mail, dust off the dust from your feet because they can't rise above the dead, empty, fallen, purely humanistic state that they're in. And it's not your fault. What are you supposed to do? Well, it's interesting that he said dust off your feet. He could have said dust off your chest, dust off your legs, dust off your garment, but he said dust off your feet. And I think he was making an allusion back to Isaiah 52, where he says, how beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him that bring good news, that publish peace, that brings good tidings, that brings salvation, words of blessing and encouragement and upliftment. And that says to people, hey, God's alive. So if you're trying to talk to people and you're trying to come into the house or come by and you're trying to give them some information, if you're trying to give them bad news, you're probably not going to be received. If you're trying to speak hard words, you're probably not going to be received. I wouldn't lead with Sandy Hook, in other words. And I'm not really sure on that one anyway. But you know what I'm saying? There's enough good news within the truth genre. There's enough good news within the New Age. Why lead with the bad news? And the implication is pretty clear. Jesus knew the scriptures, the master, the savior, the Christ knew the scriptures, and he specifically referenced shaking off your feet. That's interesting. I was talking about feet this morning. He specifically referenced shaking off your feet, and how beautiful upon the mountains are the feet. It's not an accident, folks. This guy was calculating if he lived. This guy was exacting if he lived. This is why I think he did. Can't prove it, but I think he did. He perfectly wove these words together. He perfectly knitted these words together. Because if you're listening to Jesus in AD, what book am I reading? I'm reading out of Matthew in AD. James was written in 47, 53, 54. If you're listening to Matthew in AD 53, you probably have read Isaiah before. And he says, just shake the dust off your feet. If they don't receive your news, you're automatically going to think, oh, yeah. How lovely on the mountains are the feet of them that bring good news. Good news about peace, about good tidings, about blessings and good things that are available within this life that we are privileged to live. Talk about peace. Talk about life and life more abundantly. Talk about the joy and the peace and the refuge that you have. And if they don't want to hear the good news, guess what, cousins? Shake it off and move on. It's pretty simple. Let me see if there's any questions specifically relating to this information before I move in to my third and maybe even a fourth part of this, which is a little weird, but still very applicable. Let's see if I got any questions about this here. Thanks for saying, my kids heard you say my name, Richard Ellison. Have you subscribed to Cookie Do yet? There's the link one more time. Plastic Man, I explain my faith as a believer in truth. Hello, Preshni again. I spy a diamond there. The Orient treats guests as visiting gods. Oh, that is a great. And you know what, folks? Sometimes you do get a visit from a god or at least an angel. I know that I have. Should I tell that story? No, maybe another time. But that's a good one. My wife overheard me listening to your video yesterday and got upset with me and sent me a dozen Bible verses by text. Well, at least you got her attention. At least you got her attention. I'm just checking through. Thank you, Mr. Darty. Sometimes it's hard not to share the joy I'm feeling now. Nothing wrong with sharing your joy. Just don't overshare your joy. Tanya said he lived and that he lives in her still. You know what? I can't argue that. I cannot argue that because I believe that he does and did. I just can't prove it. And I don't like sharing things that I can't prove. But I'll tell you what, Tanya and everybody else that's listening, it doesn't matter if he did or he didn't. He himself said, the things that pertain to my bodily life mean nothing. But the words that I speak, their spirit and they are life. So whether or not you believe that Jesus lived or not, whether you believe in a Ricky Bobby baby Jesus in a manger or Ricky Bobby's kids ninja Jesus or whatever, you've seen the scene. It doesn't really matter if all of those are true or none of those are true. There is a message that coalesced around a figure that we call Jesus. And that message still has the ability to bring life and life more abundantly into the lives of the people that choose to practice it on a regular basis. You may agree with Tanya. You may think she's straight up crazy. But it doesn't really matter. The message still works, ladies and gentlemen. The message still works. And Michelle Marlowe is obviously a very smart person because she says, Jeff, I absolutely love your wisdom. She's got to be very, very smart. Grammy says, when I listened to your first video, I had to force myself to be open-minded. I was so indoctrinated, it put up a wall at first. So glad I listened. I'm also so glad you listened, Grammy. Quilter. I wonder if she's making a quilt right now. I wonder if she's making a quilt right now. Well, you may be cray, but that's better than cray, ladies and gentlemen. So let's move on to the next one. So if you're gonna talk to people, give them some good news, give them some positive news, give them some uplifting news. If they hear it, and you got to resist it because sometimes they'll just be, yeah, okay, that's nice, and you'll want to keep going because they didn't say no. You're like the Jehovah's Witness that doesn't get the door slammed in their face. They're all excited, so they keep talking and they want to keep coming back, but they don't know that you're just trying to be too polite. You don't really want to listen. So the scripture counseled us, unless they're really excited about hearing it, unless they're taking a personal investment, shut up and move on. Hard to do. Who was saying that? Hard to do. Not easy to do. But if you're going to come on your feet and bring some news, bring good news. And if they receive it, great. If they don't, move on and shake it off, and don't blame them because they are nothing but dust. From dust they came, from dust they'll return. And there's people in this world today, ladies and gentlemen, that cannot rise above that dust anymore. They're just what they are. And there's no sense in you trying to continue to bring them together, because you know what? This is going to happen. This Matthew chapter 7, verse number 6 thing. Don't give dogs what is holy. Don't throw your pearls before swine, because if you do, they're going to trample you under their feet, and then they're going to turn and they're going to tear you to pieces. And then this next part is good. I didn't even think about looking at it. Ask and it'll be given to you. Seek and you'll find. Knock and the door will be open to you. If you're trying to share with someone, then you really think you're supposed to, you really think you need to, you really think you want to, and they're getting mad, I would say just move on. But Jesus was smarter than me, and he said, you know what? If you got to do it, ask one more time. Can you please give me an opening? And if he wants to, thinks it's right, he'll give you one. Oh, let me one more time have him open the door. Well, if he wants to, it will be. Try one last time, but go to the boss. Quit going to the people that you've already kept talking to long enough to make them mad at you. But let's look at something real quick. Don't give dogs what is holy. This is verse number 6 in Matthew 7:6. Here's where it's gonna be like a roar. Where do you get that from? Don't give that which is holy to the dogs. Don't give that which is sacred, that which is holy, that which is set apart by the divine. Don't give that which is set apart by the divine to the dogs. What are the dogs? Well, it is a dog, but what you need to know, it's like a scavenging canine, like a wild dog. And it is a dog. They didn't like dogs in the East. They didn't like dogs. So it's kind of a cuss word. But here's the thing that smacked me in the face, just like this, only harder. And I don't want to hit myself harder. It also means a spiritual predator who feeds off of others. So we've obviously moved from just talking about the good news, giving news to people, sharing your faith with people, and them getting mad. So let's just keep that in our back pocket for a second. Don't give, and remember when Jesus said, I don't take the meat from the table and feed it to the I don't take the children's meat and feed it to the dogs. Oh, yeah, but sometimes some breadcrumbs fall and even the dogs eat it. And Jesus is like, oh, she's got some faith. So if you're kind of talking your faith and somebody kind of overhears it and comes over and asks you, they're like a good little dog just wanting a little meat. Talk to them. But you don't want to cast your pearls. And what are the pearls in that verse? The pearls, look, it's so funny because the word in Greek is margaritas. Somebody's like, yeah, margaritas for everybody. I don't drink, so it doesn't do anything for me. But it really is a pearl. That's the translation, like a pearl out of an oyster. And it just happens to be called a margarita in Greek, which is kind of funny to me. Don't cast your margaritas before the pigs, the swine, the hogs, the sows. The only thing they liked less than dogs was pigs. So they're putting people in a very bad position, lest they turn and trample upon you, tread you down, trample you underfoot, spurn you. Ooh, when I make this turn, you're going to be like, holy crap, how did he see that? And tear you to pieces. Tear you to pieces, ladies and gentlemen. Break you down, break you apart, break you asunder, treat you like trash, and throw you down. Jeff, where are you going? Well, first of all, we'll stay right in our context of talking to people, having them get upset. Their dogs, don't give them those holy words. Their swine, don't give them those precious pearls. And I discovered this by accident because I was going to talk about another subject. And then for some reason I said I'm going to talk about this subject, but now it winds me back to that subject, which I was going to talk about. And I am going to talk about now. Ladies and gentlemen, this verse in Matthew chapter 7, verse number 6 is talking about sex. That's right. I said it at, what time is it? Almost 6 in the evening. And he's talking about sex at 6. There we go. That's kind of funny. Don't give dogs what is holy. And I'm going to bring this together. Trust me. Don't give to dogs. What's the dog? The dog is a spiritual predator who feeds off of others. And this is mostly directed to the ladies, but sometimes it gets twisted around. Not often, but sometimes it gets twisted around. But he's talking about that which is holy, that which is sacred, that which is set apart for the divine sacred use. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what sexuality is supposed to be. It's supposed to be set aside for divine, holy use. You've heard me say it before. There's profane sex, there's mundane sex, and there's sacred sex. And if you are a person that claims you're awake, if you're a person that claims that you're aware, if you're a person that claims that you're trying to live a spiritual life, you should have nothing to do with profane sex or mundane sex, and you really shouldn't want to have anything to do with profane sex or mundane sex, because ladies, especially ladies, and men too, but it seems, I don't know, I just seem more drawn to talk to the ladies about this. Your sexuality is sacred. Your sexuality is holy, and the use of it should be set aside for holy, high-minded, and sacred uses. And it says to be different from the world. We should act different than the people at the bar act. We should act different than the people at I don't know if they still have discos, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm a little out of touch. Don't laugh at me. But we should be doing things a little bit different than the way things are done down at the club. That's all I'm saying. And ladies, you have got to get because let's face it, men, if they get a chance, they're going to take it. It's something about men. There are men that do have a high-minded view of sexuality. There's just not many. Let's be realistic and let's be honest. And ladies, you got the goods. So if you understand how sacred it is, if you understand how set apart it is, if you understand how it should be used for the divine, then sooner or later, dudes will get the message. Isn't that right, Rooney? Sooner or later, dudes will get the message. But it is sacred. It is set apart. It is holy. And the reason I know he's talking about that in this is because he goes in and says, don't give it to the dogs, the spiritual predators who feed off of others. And that's why I'm mainly directing it to men. I know there's probably some women out there that are spiritual predators that just want to have sex and suck up the energy and maybe try to boost up their self-esteem. That's possible. And maybe I'm being a little bit too naive. I've been accused of that before. But that's irrelevant. There are people that are out there that just want to feed off of your energy. They want to feed off of you spiritually. There's people out there that just want to feed off of you physically. They just want to enjoy the physical enjoyment of sex. Is that wrong? I say yes. And it's wrong for a few reasons. Number one, it's wrong because you actually have a physical bonding agent in you that's called oxytocin. Oh, but that's just for women. No, it does. It is stimulated in women. I'm not going to get into specifics of how it's stimulated, but it's stimulated in ways that get stimulated not just in childbirth, but also within sex. We'll just leave it there for now, ladies and gentlemen. It's only 6 o'clock. But it does get released, and what oxytocin does, and it also does get released in the testicles. There's the T word at 6 o'clock. Are you happy? And what it does, but not nearly as much in the male, but specifically and especially in the female, it promotes pair bonding. You get bonded, chemically bonded. Can anybody say sex spell? You get chemically bonded to people you have sex with, ladies. And to both the men that care about that, you too. But you get chemically bonded, ladies, to men that you have sex with. Oh, I'm just trying to have some fun. Woohoo! Well, maybe you are. And if you are, that's really sad, because that means that you have so used yourself up that your body doesn't even function the way it used to anymore, and it doesn't release the hormones it's supposed to release anymore, and you're a wreck. I can have sex with any man and just enjoy it. I don't feel bonded to him. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry to hear that for so many reasons. But for those of you that still do have a soul, is that too strong? Stop giving that which is holy to the spiritual predators that just want to feed off of you physically. And don't think that there's not something in the male mind, and probably in the female mind too. I've never had a female mind that gets addicted to just the physical act of sex. Endorphins. And a lot of it is power, control, conquer. Like a dog. It's reduced to just a canine activity in the minds of a lot of people, ladies. Spiritual predators who feed off of others. So stop because of the oxytocin. Stop because of the endorphins. But more importantly, it's a profound energetic exchange. And if you are having profane sex, you're being oxytocinally, physically bonded to dogs, spiritual predators. If you're having mundane sex, you're being oxytocinally bonded to dogs, predators who feed off of others. They don't do it because they don't like it. But if you're having sacred sex, well, then you're being oxytocinally bonded to a person of high mind. And let's talk about the spirituality of it, the energetic part of it. Do you want to be energetically linked with a spiritual predator? Do you want to be energetically linked with a physical predator? And don't think that they're not spiritual predators. Why do they use the words they use and use the flattery they use? When I was a preacher, I used to preach this all the time. And every now and then, even though I was a Pentecostal preacher, I had something good to say. Words of wisdom, ladies and gentlemen, profound words of wisdom. Men play at love to get sex. Women, generally speaking, let's put it this way. Yeah, women play at sex to get love. Think about that. Men pretend to be in love so they can get sex. Men play at love to get sex. Women, it's the exact opposite because the whole oxytocin thing. So you're being put together, ladies. You're being sold a pig in a poke. You like what I did with that one? Brought in the swine, brought in poking, Anyway. Men play at sex to get love. Men play at love to get sex. Men play at love to get sex. Men play at love to get sex. Women play at sex to get love. You're going to lose every time in that equation, ladies. You're going to lose every time in that equation, ladies. Every time. So don't give what is holy to the dogs. And don't cast. Don't throw, don't rush, don't place, don't put, don't drop. I might have just stumbled into some profundity here. Your pearls before swine. Is he talking to men here, ladies and gentlemen? I'm not going to get graphic, but let's just pretend that this is being written to high-minded men and women that are spiritual like we're supposed to be. Is he saying to the ladies, don't give that which is supposed to be separated and set apart for holy and divine sacred use to dogs that are just spiritual predators? Is he saying that to you, ladies? And then is he saying to the men, and you're going to have to work with me and imagine because I'm not going into detail, or don't cast your pearls before the female equivalent of the dogs. I'll leave a little pause for you to put that together in your head. Ladies, don't give that which is holy to spiritual predators. Men, don't cast, drop, place the pearls. Think about that for a second. Before the little Piggly Wiggly girlies. Are we clear? Can we move on? Oh, thank you. Lest they trample upon you. The word says trample you down, trample you underfoot, and spurn you. Ladies, ever felt that before? Men, ever felt that before? Don't feel good, does it? And then they also want to tear you to pieces, which means break you apart, throw you down, cast you out like trash, burst you, slam you, tear you to pieces. Ladies, ever felt that? Men, ever felt that? Want to do it again? No? Well, then don't give that which is holy and supposed to be set aside for sacredness to the mundane or the profane. Ladies, men, don't cast that which is supposed to be sacred and holy to the profane and the mundane. Because can we just talk for a minute? Ladies, it's a profound energetic exchange. Whether or not there's condoms involved or not, it's a profound energetic exchange. More so if there's not. I believe that. I think it's true. I think I can prove it. Men, same way. Oxytocin on both ends, more so on the women, but there's also another chemical that is released in the men, and it escapes my mind. It's obviously not a very strong one, but it can be in some men. Not to mention all the physical stuff that's out there that is not pretty, and it's not so much just a shot anymore. It can get really bad. But what about the spiritual implications of this? We're trying to be the last generation of real humans. We are the last generation of real humans. We're trying to get busy, but don't just get busy. Stay out of the profane. Stay out of the mundane. Get into the sacred. Quit feeding spiritual predators. Quit exchanging energy and think of what you're giving. You're giving this powerful, clean energy, holy energy to people that are going to take it, and they're probably going to use it to woo somebody else. You know, if you ever watched the Supernatural series where, they actually show it physically like a light, your essence, your glory, they call it. And it only happens, that's what they're trying to show you, even in Supernatural. You don't want to put, because these bad guys will steal it's not called glory. What's it called? They call it something that the angels have it, and we're all angels. And I watch that show all the time. I can't think of what it's called. Glory, essence, whatever it's called. If you give that to other people, they can use it for evil means. Boy, did this get down a different path. Don't be given that which is holy to the dogs. It's set aside for use in sacred work, and you're letting dogs use it. Don't cast that stuff into pigs, gentlemen. It's not meant for pigs. It's not meant for dogs. It's meant for holy usage, and plus, they're not going to respect you in the morning anyway. They're going to trample upon you. And if you've ever been trampled, it don't feel good. I have. You have. We don't want to do it anymore. You ever been torn to pieces? I have. You have. We don't want to do it anymore. So there's given good news and there's given good news. There's given energetically and there's given energetically. So this was 2 shows for the price of 1. 2 shows for the price of 1. Wow. Interesting stuff, I think. Powerful stuff, I think. And didn't know that I was going to go there, but I did. And there's a link I'd like you to subscribe to again. We'll jump real fast into the chat room and see what's up. If you have to leave, I understand, but you do give me 40 minutes of your time to listen to me. I think it's only be fair that I would give you a few minutes to go through and look at your channel. Amanda B says that she attracts all sorts. Well, you know what, Amanda? Let me think of a Jeffism that would work here that's not too blatant. You cannot keep a bird from flying over your head, Amanda. But you can keep them from building a nest in your hair. That's a lot more PG than the one I was going to go with. Same to you, Mountain Girl, 73. Ladies, filter out the silt. Hello in Poland. They got the message. Love and light from the UK. Don't look back. The pituitary gland. Dr. Judge Jeff. Sex can be amazing and you can melt into the other person. Only very few can make love to you. Amanda, do you really want to melt into a dog? I don't think so. Do you really want to melt into a sexual predator? I don't think so. Longer hugs release oxytocin. Yeah, I would say so. And the pituitary glands. Oh, thanks, Michelle, for that visual. I'm going to get that out of my head. You nailed it, Jeff. Well, thank you. Even on TV, they show you hidden messages. Yes, they do. The power of, yeah, okay. Lou. Somebody spank Lou. Well, I didn't mean to say that. That's not what I meant. Come on, people. Clean it up. Lou, that's funny. I hope when I get married, I don't need to have sex just to be happy. Yeah, me too. Stop consuming porn, guys. I've already talked about that 100 times. Ooh, Under a Spell. That's a good one. Jeff, you had a female mind before. You just don't remember. Oh, I remember. I'm very in touch with my feminine side. I really am. And I'm trying to be as balanced as I can. And I'm still so happy. This channel, 37, 20, 28, however many thousands of subscribers, 50-50 right now. Men and women. That is awesome. Awesome. 4 sons, 2 grandsons. Low energy, low vibration. Stay away. Jeff, I noticed you're getting worldwide attention. Thank you. It is awesome. Just have some chocolate, says Dolores. Sex secret. Damn, I joined in at the right moment, says Jeanette. About time this was said out loud. Thank you, Deborah. Chocolate is way better. Wow. Does anyone know any gay single men? I'm gay and I need a man. No. But good luck to you. And I mean that. Jeff's profound about the profane. Oh, thank you. Very well. Lou's laughing. Women can fake orgasms. Men can fake. Yeah, I guess. Oh, that's very well put. He's going back to my men play at love to get sex. Women play at sex to get love. Wow, that breaks it down to a different level. But Matthew says women fake orgasms. I never heard of a man faking an orgasm. Rooney, have you ever heard of that? I never have. So women fake orgasms, which goes along with playing at sex to get love. Men fake with the I love you stuff. And what a great song Tim McGraw's sung. He didn't write it. Always stay humble and kind. I love you ain't no pickup line. Always stay humble and kind. I love that. $20. Thank you, whoever that is. I can't see. I want to go back up. This is good stuff. Sex and drugs is hard to stop, especially when you do it, put them together. I don't know because I never had any drugs, but I can imagine. I don't remember. It's been so long, says Rich. It's probably not that bad. Celibate. Sex addicts are as militant as the pot people. That's an insult to the pot people, I think. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Mickey Gilley, right? Don't cast pearls before swine. Yep, Jeanette was picking up what I was putting down. You got to be sexually honest. Way to go, Lou. Very, very good one. I met my wife. I met out of love. I never had anybody else, so I guess I'm old school. You are in good shape, my brother. Jeanette, are you being serious? Jeanette says she wears pearls as a reminder of that. Jeffrey, you're absolutely on point. Thank you. Swine and not the beef either. Be mindful of your girl pearls. Oh, good one. Why do women have to wear makeup and heels and pantyhose and guys don't? You don't have to wear those, Tammy, and some guys do. I'm going to tell a story. I was living in Lake Tahoe and I was working for Marriott, and we did a 70s party, I guess it was, or an 80s party, 70s or 80s. And the grand prize for the costume was $1,000. And this was in 2001, 2. $1,000 is a lot of money. My daughter says to me, Dad, you should be the sweet transvestite from Rocky Horror Picture Show, and you'd win $1,000, no problem. So we got the video, ladies and gentlemen, talking about wearing high heels and makeup. We got the video, and she freeze framed it, and she did my makeup, and I went and got the exact outfit. I learned the dance. I learned the song. God, to all the gods and all that is holy, I pray that there's no pictures or video of this anywhere, but I did it, and I walked out of there with not $1,000. It was so good they increased the prize to $1,500. So yeah, I wore makeup. I wore heels that were like 6 inches, and I want to tell you something. I about broke both my ankles multiple times. I don't know how you do it, but I learned how to strut and dance in those things. Took me about a week, and I took home $1,500. He should have said sows. He really should have. Is it sows? What scripture is that? Let me get back. Let me take a look if it says sows. Pigs. Swine. Hog, sow. Bonus points for that. Who said that? That was absolutely brilliant. Let me get back to my control room. Doesn't surprise me. It was Tracy. Tracy, it is sows. It's definitely talking about men and women, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my. That is just amazing stuff. Let's go back to that. Ladies, don't give that which is set aside for sacred use to the dogs. Men, don't cast pearls into sow. Female pigs. This verse is about sex, period. Period. That is what you call secondhand revelation. I stole it from Tracy like that. But it was a compilation. Wow. That's exactly what it's talking about. I knew it was, but now I have proof that it was. Both ways, old school's beautiful. Got to get to the ouster first. Yes, Jeff, please do. I'm not sure what that means. Don't give that which is holy to my... I'm not even going to repeat that. Oh, yes, no. Makes me afraid of what I said. Never again, never. Good for you, Jeanette. That must mean never again, never, ever to dogs. It's holy. I love how you can be so graphic yet not graphic. I guess it's just my southern upbringing. Olga says, I plead the fifth. I hear you, girl. I'm good now, Jeff. Okay, Amanda, good for you. I learned the hard way, and I'm very grateful where I am today. Good for you. Yes, it takes 7 years to shed DNA after sex. I don't know if that's true, but I know it takes a minute or two. Sperm changes your DNA into that of your partner in this place, but is that people who looked Is that why people who have been together a long time look the same? I don't know if that's true, but it's interesting anyway. It sounds like a you'll grow hair on your palms kind of thing to me, but it's interesting. Is that why some people say men are dogs? Olga, boom. I love the boom, the boom. Endorphins are morphine-like substances that are released in your brain when you have sex, when you do heavy exercise, stuff like that. Jeff, this is the best. Thank you, B Bond. I'm single for a good reason. I'm dealing with the same idea with my husband. Making love is the best feeling. Yeah, I'll second that. Jason says he's a handsome fella. I think Jason's trolling. Lou's laughing, not sure why. Jeff Darty, sacred sex guru. I've been called worse. Estrogen goes up in men and testosterone goes down. I don't know about that, but I'm not going to argue it. I haven't read that. Grace, grace, grace. That's funny. 3 people in a row said grace, grace, grace. Why? Oh, the grace is what yeah. That's what comes out of you is grace. I'm like, that's weird. They're all saying grace. Yes, it's the grace that comes out of you. That's what they're trying to teach us, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to teach us that. And I'm trying to remember. I'm going to be graphic without being graphic again. If you ever watched Supernatural and you know what the grace looks like, I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen the grace come out of a female on that show. I have. Strike that. Strike that. I just can't be the old me at all. Good for you, Amanda. It's been 15 years. I'll never have sex again. Gulp. Wow. Wow, this is really decoding the scriptures. I'm trying, brother. Marco the Mayan. That's a great name. I like that show, but didn't watch shows and movies. I do every now and then. I've been properly trampled. Dude, me too, Jason. And recently. Oops, it jumped on me. I'm going to go through all of this. If you have to leave, I'm sorry, but I got to go through all this. This is really good stuff. Oh, is Derek in the house? Would that be Derek Bros? I got to go back to I got to get up to where I was. This is really good stuff, guys. There's so many smart people in this chat room. It blows my mind. It really does. Where did I leave off? Man, this place is packed. It's like it's a Global Witness chat room or something. Well, it's only gonna let me go up that high, so. Sorry, this is great stuff. Prayers for Warrior Princess. Hugs are the most important connection in the world. I like hugs. I like other connections too. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Question, I'm a noob. I know Native Americans use. Let's don't talk about marijuana right now. I believe we all need to connect. It is beautiful. I agree. You opened up a can of worms. I did. Jama doesn't believe. Well, is masturbation okay? I did. There's a show that I have on that. It's one of the most popular videos I've ever done because I look at those things. What's it called? It's called it has something to do with semen retention. I hate that word. But anyway, you can look it up. Jeffrey's out of the closet. Yeah, Jeff's uncomfortable, that's for sure. Sexually transmitted demons, STD. Good job, Kala. I've said that before. When did marriage show up in history? That's a really good question. Really, really, really good question. Men can fake orgasms. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to move right along and try to get that out of my mind. Keep scrolling, Jeff. Keep scrolling, Jeff. Keep scrolling, Jeff. Olga's laughing because I'm making her cry. Crying because I'm making her laugh. Laughing. I have that effect on a lot of women, the crying part. I used to drink and sleep around. Now I'm sober and have no idea how I do this. Good for you. I know how to make pearls. We have oyster farms around. Oh, cool. Men used to wear high heels exclusively, says Max Vision Remote View this. That's really interesting. Stop, 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 says Critical Thinker. I think she's crying too. I told you it's an effect I have on women. VJB says I need to see photos. Oh, we're laughing about the Rocky Horror thing now. Okay, I got it. I got it. Yeah, no, it wasn't the Time Warp song. It was the gonna go up to the lab and see what's on the slab. That whole one, with anticipation. It was I could still sing the whole thing, but I'm not going to. I leave for a day, says Derek, and come back, and Jeff is talking about sex and pearls and cross dressing. No pictures, or it didn't happen. There are pictures out there. My good friend Amber has them, but thank God she's never given them to anybody else. I want to dress like Dr. Frankenfurter one day. I know I can still pull it off, says Jama, but you're a chick. It's not the same. Lou's laughing. I did tranny well. I trannied really, really well. I trannied really, really well. I was dancing like Derek Bros did on that one video. I flat toe it up. I really did. How do we get into this? I blame Derek. He's a bad influence. Now you have something more to harass Jeffrey with, Derek. Yeah, he does. My husband left me, so I'm serious about the pearls. I played the narrator in Rocky Horror. Oh, nice. I dressed my boyfriend like a woman, and I was freaking out. He already had long blonde hair. I'm not sure why we went there, Critical Thinker, but thanks for sharing. Thank you for making me smile today. It's what I do. Derek, you got to go to the beginning. Thanks, Jason. You're a handsome man, too. My ex-hubby's got so many phone numbers dressed as a girl. Oh, that's wrong. I don't think I'd have got any. I remember it was at Caesar's Palace in Lake Tahoe, and I had the big cape on and everything, walking through there after I valeted my Land Rover at the time. That's the life I was living. And I'm walking through that, and I was getting some looks. Maybe some of them were wanting my number, but nobody asked. Nobody asked. That's confirmation. Yep. I want to see you and Derek dance. That might be able to be arranged. Jeffrey Darty, this is the best chat. It is a good chat. I've seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah, a lot of people have. Jeff, wasn't marriage a religious construct to make men more accountable to the responsibilities of procreation and finance of children? I don't know. I'm not that smart. I really don't. I'm live again, Jenny Constantine. And Jenny, you missed it. Part of this was inspired by you. Jeff, you're just trailblazing all over the place. I love it. Keep it up. Thank you very much. All right, then. But I'm going to read this passage one more time because it's definitely about sex. No doubt. I'm going to give you a literal Greek to English rendering, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Ladies. Well, maybe we'll go JDV a little bit on it, Jeff Darty version, but I'm going to give you the gist. Ladies, do not give that which is holy and set aside for sacred use to the physical and spiritual predators. Men, do not cast your essence of pearls into the sows, or they will trample on you and they will tear you to pieces, and they will use that which you've left to do the same to others. That's straight from the text, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Powerful, powerful stuff. Tammy, if I'd have told you this 50 years ago, I'd have been 5. I don't think I could have done it when I was 5. Although Presley is doing it, and he's 11. And I'm leaving the link to his channel one more time, and I'm asking you all to subscribe to it. I want to get his channel over 1,000 subscriptions, 1,000 subscribers. Cookie Do. I'm going to leave the link in the chat room one more time. We're trying to encourage the up-and-coming YouTube sensations. And do yourself a favor. Watch the I'm Addicted to Altoids video. It's hilarious. Trust me. Give it a listen. Give it a watch. I'm going to put it in there one more time, and I'll keep doing this until we get to 1,000. So if you're like, Jeff, I wish you'd quit doing this, then just, Jenny Constantine stops in and drops some bombs. Sexual power can be akin to carrying a loaded firearm. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Thank you, Jenny, for I'm sorry, I always get caught reading these. These are really good stuff. So I'll be on Jenny's channel next week. Jenny's going to be on my channel, hopefully regularly. I'm going to try to talk her into a regular show on the channel. Scotty Roberts will be back Thursday night. Your favorite consequential rapscallions. In fact, the only consequential rapscallions that I know of. And tomorrow morning, we're going to have the Not Your Normal Sunday show with Wayne Steiger. Monday night, Bob Sanders, in his first interview, the facilitator of the Great White Brotherhood. And take a look at the show that I did with Joseph Atwill, author of Caesar's Messiah, and Vinnie Eastwood. It was on TV and radio all over New Zealand and Australia and somewhere in Europe, just on YouTube over here. Check that stuff out. It was a really good one, too. It's not on my channel. You have to go to Vinnie Eastwood's channel. Derek's not feeling well today. He's resting. So let's do this, ladies and gentlemen, right now. All of us that are gathered together, let's go ahead. If Derek is willing to accept it, and if not, we'll send it anyway. Maybe it'll bounce off and help somebody else. Let's just put some healing intention out right now to Derek Broze, Global Witness. There's almost 200 of us. We're going to go ahead, blast this out right now. See this at a end today. Feel free to send some good healing stuff. Anyway, Lou says, I'm the best senior. Thank you. So let's send out some healing virtue right now to Derek Broze. There it goes. I feel it. It's just like, Derek, if you were close enough, I'd give you a little sweat wipe. But you're too far away. That's what he really needs. Is if he could get a sweat wipe, he would be doing a dance right about now. Derek, virtual sweat wipe. Brother, bring your forehead over to the TV. Bam, there it is. Virtual sweat wipe. He's healed. People that are new are like, what is wrong with this man? That is way too long a list. If I start listing what is wrong with me. Feel better, Hermano Derek. Ah, this is awesome. What did Jenny do? I'm having a lot of fun, but we're going to have to go. I always push it too far. What in the Sam hell was that? Joan, you gotta be a regular subscriber to understand what that is. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, come on, man. Somebody get rid of this slimy idiot right here. Oops, did I say that out loud? That's the last time we're hearing from you, not a cousin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this was really good stuff. If you can get past the silliness, I know we have a lot of fun, and sometimes we do silly stuff, but if you can keep a little bit focused, you can learn a lot of really good stuff from me and from the people that are in these chat rooms. I'm telling you, it's really powerful stuff. And I did it again. It's like Britney Spears. There's the link for Cookie Do, and it's really, wow. Did you see what I saw on my end? The screen went to a flying universe. I don't know what he means. I think that's a joke, but I'm not quite getting it. Have a great night, everyone. Love and light. This is new cosmic knowledge. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, and yes, of all the things that I've lost, I do miss my mind the most. I salute you for being here, seeking after truth and whatever the hell else this stuff is. Love and light, and all is love, ladies and gentlemen. Love is the most powerful force in the universe. Let's unindoctrinate ourselves. We're the last generation of real humans. I'll hang in the chat for a minute. Let's get busy.